Good afternoon, welcome along to the Falkirk Stadium for the first ever SWF Championship Cup Final. The rebrand of the third tier to the Championship has seen an exciting start to the league campaign and the first Cup Final in this level between two sides who have been going pretty well. Dryburgh Athletic up against Montrose here. The latter have been going exceptionally well in the league, both in the same division. In Championship North, it's Dryburgh who sit fourth against Montrose against first, but that doesn't matter in a cup final. Looking at the sides for Dryburgh, well, it was Beth Collins with the winner. She starts today for the side. Chantal Mackay has got a breadth of experience higher up at the likes of Forfar, as does one or two other players in this team. The goalkeeper, Mackay. It's experienced Laura Bogue, the captain, and top goal scorer, and the threat, if they need goals, from Alma Kodigoni is on the bench. For Montrose, one or two other players that were in the former Farmerton SWP1 side feature. Lisa Glennie is the captain. Kaylee Bruff is one of those ex-Forfar players. Amy Ridgway has 40 goals in all competitions. She scored 4 in the semi-final. Great to be here. It's an exceptionally cold day in Falkirk for the final, but a great turnout, great support around us in the main stand at the Falkirk Stadium. And thanks for joining us at home. I'm Callum Patterson. I'll guide you through 90 minutes, who knows, maybe more, as that is the procedure. 90 minutes, could well be extra time and penalties if it was to be level at the end of the 90. As I say, Dryburgh just edged at United the semi-final. It was a bit more comfortable for Montrose. 10-1 victors over Edinburgh, Caledonia. I think it's something like 110 goals are scored in all competitions. They have been flying, have Montrose, in the division. 27 points out of 27. Against Dryburgh, who are going not too bad, but they're 9 points behind Montrose in the division in the Championship North. Montrose, former previous fourth tier winners in the old SWFL Division 2, but it's their first ever cup final. Dryburgh have experience of being in a cup final. They were in the SWFL 2 cup final, precursor to the change up in the third tier and the recreational side of the game, but they lost an extra time organising late to Morton by 3 goals to 2, so maybe I've got that in their mind. A lot of those players involved then are involved now. All set to go. Dryburgh in the maroon. Montrose in the change black. There's Amy Ridgway ready to begin play. And we are underway for the SWF Championship Cup Final, the first under this era of the third tier championship. It's two sides from the North Division that are representing that part of the country proudly, but against each other. And they only met each other just a few short weeks ago in the league, where it was a very convincing win for Montrose. 7 goals to 0, so sure it'll be slightly different today with the cup final nature. Dryburgh sneaking in there, Rob trying her best, away by Lawrence Sangster. Now the captain Glennie, intercepted there though by Barclay Beat. Hazy sunshine over the pitch. Ciara Johnson doing well, finding support, and Gammy just dispossessed, but positive here for Montrose. Glennie finding support in Reid, and will be a corner inside the first 90 seconds. No hanging about here. Quickly on with it. To the box, it's bobbling around. Carter trying to find the gap. Might well be a chance. It's still not really cleared. It is now. So many bodies around there. Just no real space to get the clear shot away for Montrose. Dryburgh will get away with the scramble there. Ball flying towards the box, but no one there. Montrose colours, and over the top it goes, and Megan Robb went really early. She had maybe a bit more time than what she thought. Flag wasn't coming up. Just maybe a hint of a chance for Dryburgh. A good start, positive start for both sides. Here's a little look at the ball. Top. She was onside as well, level with that defender. And went really, really early. There was some players closing down, but maybe had a bit more time than she thought. That encourages them both sides having little opportunities in the early stage of this cup final. Not too many nerves around by the looks of things. Glennie looking to turn and find some support. Into a bit of trouble in their opposite number. And Robb. Searching out for it is Collins. Just closed off and away comes Bruce. Okay, had time to just bring it into our path. One of the few players on both sides that have picked up players from the unfortunate demise of Forth of Farmington SWPL 1, but it does bring a bit of quality to this final to complement a lot of young players and experienced players that have played at various levels in the game. Close start with throw-in. I was looking for Robb. Sturrock again. Support found there in Collins. Kind of a scramble and the loud challenge came in. I think both players feeling that. Red Drake for Montrose and Morland of Dryburgh, but it's Montrose with the free kick. You could hear the clattering. Morland just taking a moment to get some treatment. See it again. Both was committed for it, and both taking a bit of a leather in there. But the Dryburgh player coming off worst. Also a coach with the club, coaches under 11s team. I think a lot of the players and parents and the like are quite fond of it. A bit of a role model with the club. Bit of a chat going on with Montrose players there. So if a decent start, even start between both sides. But it was just a little few weeks ago, October the 31st, when Montrose were 7-0 winners. And wasn't a factor at all. It's shooting in a cup final. It's sliced up though here. There's Anna Grant, another player that scored 4 goals last week, and she's striding forward here. Needing a bit of help, and it was obliged. And Cully, now Gammy coming in with a little strike, which is never really troubling the keeper off target. Just a little sighter. A bit of space was there. The attacking players have been such a threat for Montrose this season so far, and we've seen some lovely play down the channel. Charlotte had to watch behind her, and in the end finds a really good pass for Rob. Moreland, who's okay. It's a free kick going to go to Dryburgh's way. No ball won there by Ailey Reid. So 8 minutes on the clock, and Dryburgh with the free kick. It's going looping. Sangster had it covered. Just took that little, maybe heart-stopping bounce, but all okay for the keeper. Turn away by Glennie. Oh, I think a few people felt that. I think Robbie's okay though. But a shoe goal and she's back involved. Up there towards Grant. And still alive here, stay in play, and Grant's going to roll forward and does that so well. Picks out Ridgway. But the flag goes up. Gammy was waiting in the box, but it won't matter in the end. Grant did so well to kind of pinwheel round and keep it in play and run down that line. Just a little too early or a little too late. The run from Ridgway. Yeah, just thought, well, it's quite tough from the angle. There was a player in the box that might have been quite close, but flag did go up. Now Bruce getting forward. Grant in the mix once more. That's a loose pass. Early ball for Dryburgh. Keeper having to juggle a little bit. Megan Robb with early ball, just causing a few problems in the heart of the defence. Not an awful lot on, but nearly worked into half an opportunity. Do have the throw in. Sturrock with it in towards, looking for Rob. Back for Moreland. Sturrock. Cut out there and forward from Glennie. But cleared before Ridgway could maybe get a break on. The Dryburgh ball. Bit of a coming together there. Beth Collins. And arms out for Amy Cully. And the referee, who's Nathan Clark Mansfield, incidentally. Just got a quick chat with the two players. Not too happy. With a little bit of aggro between the two. There's a cup final. So a little bit of contact there, just a little nibble after the challenge, but referee just having the stern word for now. Twist and turn away from Moreland. Looking up a little loose from Carter, but just about had it covered. But scrappy in the middle of the park here. kind of a hit and hope one. Fadgen on the far side. Rob doing well to try and find the gap, but couldn't quite pick out Bogue, the Dryburgh captain. A couple of goals this season as the skipper for Side of Maroon. Lenny was dying a little bit, but she's kept hold of it. Johnson finds Carter behind. A bit of an important ball, but might still fall for Ridgway. Oh, it's off the post, and they've managed to get it away. Well, a bit of a innocuous moment where there wasn't much happening, almost fashioned a chance for Montrose. Dryburgh survived thanks to the post. Cully trying to send it back in. Glennie with a looping curl, but into the keeper's hands this time. Of Mackay. And just a dangerous little spell there for Montrose. Here's a ball that kind of somehow fell through for Ridgway. And not far away, placed towards the corner, just hitting off that post. Keeper was beaten. Remains 0-0 as we are fast approaching the 15-minute mark in the cup final. Now, a little bit of a deflection and turnaround here for Grant. Trying to work away around the defenders, but taken by the goalkeeper Mackay. A bit of pain for Chantal Mackay. Amy Ridgway gets plenty of the acclaim this season so far from Montrose, but Anna Grant's another player. See, number 4 in her back, she scored 4 goals herself also against Edinburgh, Caledonia. Just trying to keep on manoeuvring forward, but squeezed out by Sturrock, by both Sturrocks and Amy and Chloe. Little flick there from Aitken. Didn't find anyone in their own colours, but it comes back to Mackay. All okay after that. All coming together. Sun just peeking back behind the clouds on this very chilly day at the Falkirk Stadium. We are, of course, getting towards December, so expected. Let's flick over the top here, and Collins trying to get there. Callie tried her best to get something on that and gets herself the free kick anyway. Glennie trying to thread through for Gammy. Johnston, pass one. Bruce. Grant with space wide and off Collins for a corner. Ailey Reid then with the corner from Montrose. 17 minutes on the clock. Oh, it went all the way across the face of goal. And it's taken a slight defensive touch to head out for another corner. I think it was Kaylee Bruff at the far post tried to get in there. But just whistled by off the aid of either a fingertip from the keeper or a little nudge off the jersey of a Dryburgh player. A sprint across the other side for Reid. Another corner. Oh, and Bruff's up there again. There's a secondary effort. Back it comes from Gammy. Glennie denied this time. And they've caused a bit of a threat from corners. They had one earlier in the game which was a bit of a pinball which didn't quite provide a chance for a shot at goal. And again we see it there. Falls for Glennie, but that's given away. Oh, and now right through the middle, Megan Robb. 1-on-1, she's got support too, she might go herself here. This is a classic counter-attack which has led to the opening goal for Dryburgh after 18 and a half minutes. And Megan Robb, that was fantastic. When Montrose were attacking from a couple of corners, they went right up the other end. It's Dryburgh 1, Montrose 0 in the cup final. Ball through, and she did have support coming, but she backed herself. Keeper came out, got the little touch to try and steer it away. But the former under-19s international has scored her 6th of the season, and what a time to score your 6th of the season. Almost 20 minutes played in this cup final. And maybe on paper with the game a few weeks back in the league, the underdogs in front. Chloe Sturrock then with a throw in Dryburgh. Looking to try and finish another chance maybe. Back with Collins here, just stay with Dryburgh, keeping it down that side. Chloe Sturrock then once more with the throw. Cushion looking for Robb. Grant trying to wheel away and did really well, had support. And now Bruce getting it back from Ridgeway. Bruce carrying on herself, was looking to try and ping back to Grant. Cleared away. Oh, interesting times now for coaching team down there for Montrose. Craig Ferruz, the head coach. Ref says play on there, but then the free kick comes for Dryburgh. Cully just taking them back to her feet. Earlier, bit of a scrap for the ball, but there's a Dryburgh free kick. Sophie Aitken to take. Plenty forward. It was cleared and Gammy looked to try and break away, but nudged back in the path of Moreland, who didn't have an awful lot of support, but It's only been had to be cleared away by Montrose, so still with Dryburgh in a dangerous position. Barclay beats throw-in. And that will be a goal kick. Encouraging words should have been down there from Owen Mackenzie, the Dryburgh head coach, also part of the SWF Performance School as a coach. This side 1-0 up here. Still plenty of time in this final. Carter had very little option there and it's cheaply given back to Dryburgh in the attacking third. Quickly restarted. Flick on, and again Dryburgh just inching their way forward again. They've kept hold of possession pretty well since scoring. And plenty supporters of the side in front to the left of where we are, cheering on, and Rob trying to come away, and good touch. Looking to get past Brough here. Oh, and into the side netting it goes. That was lovely skill from Meg and Rob. Don't have an awful lot else on. Tried to go for a spectacular. Collins was coming into the box and was in the centre, but tried to try and go for something at the side net. You see the lob over Brough. And yeah, couldn't quite get that on target from that tight angle. For our teammates, Megan Rob and Kayleigh Brough at forfeit. And opposition teams here today. 25 on the clock. Dryburgh 1 and Montrose 0. Thanks to the goal from Rob on the break after 19 minutes. It's the side who are top of the Championship North who are in possession, looking to try and find an equaliser. Reid floating. Number and close Sturrock having to juggle a bit then. It's cleared. Brough back forward. Turn from Johnson. Oh, nice idea, but cut out back with Johnson though. Reid into the box. Brewster's trying to get there. Ridgway floating across for Grant. Ushered by Moreland. Trying to flick it and has support to get it away. Only as far as Cully thought. But they're running a tight spot. Cully again sliding in, but late on Rob. But play on, says the referee. And the shot from Johnson floats away and over. Gammy's still on the floor, but I think she'll be okay. Sliding in, and Rob was collateral damage afterwards. Getting a bit of treatment on the sideline, so Dryburgh currently with 10. And they're figure up top missing at the moment. back on the pitch now. Good to see. So Rob okay. There's Carter trying to find a gap to get it forward. Throwing it is from Montrose. Read for Bruce. Gami trying to continue the run. Aiken in there. Free kick signalled by I think the assistant initially given it. Another free kick going the way of Dryburgh. Montrose just haven't quite had much of an opportunity since falling behind. Pace just dropped a little bit. Decent pitch at the Falkirk Stadium size. Dryburgh with this free kick. Plenty of getting forward actually. With a long ball. Grant looking to wheel away, and well, I think it was maybe going to be a foul against Collins, but Grant had plenty of time to roll forward, and Robbie did well to get back to defensively. Robbie, another one of the players that's had experience at a higher level with Dundee United and SWPL 2. Back with Carter here for Montrose. Forward from Cully. Sturrock was looking for it, Chloe Sturrock, and eventually it did come in their path. It did just creep out though. Tried to break free. Collins this time with evasive clearance. Played almost half an hour in this first edition of this era of the Championship, having a League Cup final. Was maybe for Grant, but just crying out with 3 or 4 driver bodies. Keeping compact to the side in the lead. Find it hard are Montrose to just find that gap. Probably the best moments have came through the corner kicks they've had from set pieces. Up there, but Bruff comes steaming through, and it is now a turnover of possession. Spin and turn from Bruce. Grant chasing, but the ball will win the race. Could just be ushered out by Amy Sturrock fairly comfortably. I think in descriptions, Amy Sturrock there is the cool cam one, and Chloe Sturrock is the lightning fast one. But that's not particularly lightning from the goalkeeper, and the slide having to come in from Robbie to divert it out for a corner. A little slack there, chance maybe for Montrose. As I say, have been a bit more of a threat at the corner set pieces. Aileen Reid to take. Keeper gets there really well. That's Mackay. Kira Johnson was steaming in, but taken by the goalkeeper and quickly distributed again. Caused some joy for them Dryburgh with the opening goal with the counter. It could just be slid away by Carter, so they made a lot of territory here. Have the side in front. McFadden trying to get in there for Bogue. Still with a sign of Maroons. Chloe Sturrock. Collins trying to battle past Cully. Cully doing a good job. Gets it away, but I thought there was maybe a strike coming, but a waiver kind of pass, and will be a Montrose ball. Robbie fell nicely. Farging keeping it alive away from Reid. Trying to slip through Moreland was there in support, but in the end, ball goes out for a goal kick. Ball Patrol got a bit of a job there, just with the snow on the side. Just a little bit of snow in this part of the world. There have been some parts that had a bit more than others, but not too much at Falkirk today. Good turn away, and Gammy with a stride and run. Ridgway going to go direct, but comfortable for the keeper. Anna Grant was shouting for it to her left. Not to be in this occasion. So get the chance again here. Good sweep and play. And Ridgway looked up and it's fairly comfortable for the goalkeeper. Johnson tried to juggle it and keep it in. But Driver have the throw in. Heading towards the final 10 minutes of the first half in this SWF Championship Cup Final. That's one back, and Robert right across the face of goal. And Collins was around, but this flies by. And they have been a big threat in this first half with their goal, and just when they've been at the third, they've tried to work something. And again, a little sniff of a half chance. Again, Rob involved once more. Brough will clear it. Only still in that final third of the pitch for Dryburgh to attack once more. Sturrock's initial throw in, header away in. Montrose will have it. Carter cushioned it, back with Johnson. She found the support, and now Dryburgh retreat. Cross it comes for Cully. Looking for Grant, but in the way was Collins. By one, but wasn't going to get by two. And the captain too wise to that. Glennie floating towards that far side with Reid. Reid keeps it in really well. Oh, it comes across looking for Ridgway, and a crucial foot in the way. Wonderful from Aitken. Had to be there because Ridgway could have been behind to tap in. Do still have a corner, Montrose. That's been a key threat and looking to equalise before half time. So Reid to take. Brough up there. Still going to be in play at the other side. That's Fizzer pass it, find no one in black. Driver tried to clear, but it's back down with Gary doing really well. And it will still be with Montrose. Collins just taking a bit of a sore and getting back to her feet. She's a player that's came right through the system. She was 14 when she made her debut for the first team. Back to her feet now and looking to usher the ball away from Grant. But Grant finds support in Carter. Johnston. Glennie. Carter. Collins will have to watch. He's not going to go out of play. Into the tension of Grant behind. Quick burst and turn from Bruce here. Bruce keeps on going. And eventually cleared. It's Aitken with the secondary clearance. Cleared as far as Carter. And Montrose trying to pile a bit of pressure on. Carter's shot, I think, actually clipped the outside of the woodwork and went by. A bit close, I think, than the keeper thought. But it remains 1-0. Just a bit of sustained pressure over the last minute or so from Montrose. Towards the final 5 or 6 minutes here in the first half. It's the Dryburgh fans that are left singing. Maybe slightly early Christmas songs, but they are singing away at the moment as they're side in front. And Rob on the turn here looking to find Collins. Back it comes with Montrose and Grant, but again, Rob in the road. Cully this time trying to find a teammate forward. It's one back though as dispossessed was Chloe Sturrock. Down the channel again comes Grant, but well marshalled by Robbie. Great shot on the sidelines of Amy Cully, and Montrose looking to restart and find this goal. Back with Cully. Doesn't find anyone of her teammates. In 5 minutes for the half-time whistle potentially, and it's the side who are 9 points behind Montrose in the Championship North, who are in front in the cup final. The driver with experience of being finalists and the pain as well, that SWF 2 cup final a couple of years ago. Mr. Gormley on the bench, as well as Hope Ramage, both scorers. But lost out in the last couple of minutes. The one to Morton, and now they're going forward again, trying to flick it through McFadden, but only there's Cully to get it away. There wasn't much else on. Rob wasn't quite up and level support. Now Gary up the other side for Montrose. Coming in looking for Ridgway, half away by Sturrock. Amy Sturrock that was. Back the ball's floated in towards Ridgway. Bit of calm there, and now Johnston. Bruff for Carter. Reid. Carter looking for a bag. It might be a bit short here. Sliding from Barclay Beat. Here's the captain, Glennie. You'd see the idea, but race away from Grant. Callum back pretty well there. Now the turn for Ridgeway. So many bodies back there, back all the way to Brough. Switch looking for reading the other side. It's a terrific ball. Fagin doing good stuff and looking to get back on the flick, but now this time needs something to just slide out of play instead of going forward. Montrose. Nice gaps found and McFadden getting forward, but Carter intercepting that pass. Actually break free too and go forward. Again is Grant on this chase for a ball which he's been on for a lot in this first period. Good away but still with Montrose and towards the 90 seconds left to the first half of regulation time. Maybe just a touch of stoppage time with the one or two little stoppages we've had. Beth Collins doing really well there. Rob maybe looking for this back and gets it just about from Collins, but in the way was up at number in Glennie. Johnston. Oh, and a slip there from Barclay Betton. Good play there on the edge of the box, but Ridgeway just can't find the space. Now Bruce. Bruce with a try, but again, as we've seen with a couple of long range shots, really bread and butter for Chantel Mackay.
Please, Stuart, to the control room, please. Stuart, to the control room.
Moving towards the final chance of the first period. Reid. It's off Barclay Bet. Barclay beat rather, and not sure any stoppage time in this first period. So might well be the final peeps of the whistle from the ref in a sec. Goes out for a goal kick. No, I think we're going to get a board from Jamie McConney. I think it will be 1 minute of stoppage time. Yep. Was one or two, as I say, little stoppages for a couple of little knocks throughout this first period. Forward it's going to come for, looking for Ridgeway. Glennie. Now back with Ridgeway. Again, another comfortable save from Mackay. And there is the whistle for the half-time break in the SWF Championship Cup Final. And well, maybe a slight surprise because it's the side who are in fourth in the Championship North who are leading the undefeated, unstoppable at the moment Montrose in the division. And it was a well-worked breakaway, a classic counter-attack goal which the experienced Megan Robb finished off. And despite chances on both ends, Montrose have been limited to long-range efforts and a couple of dicey moments from corners which they've looked at. And Dryburgh have tried to work things at the other end, but they've got the chances. But the one goal between the two so far. Let's have a little look at some of the best bits of the first period. This was a ball forward and a flick which was another chance which Rob had through and goal, but she went early and couldn't quite get there. And this has been the story. It's closest probably when Montrose came was that strike, which I think came from his corner previously. And then this was the goal from Rob. Keeper did their best to try and get the touch to help it in its way, but enough was done. Side netting that was from Rob, who's been the real key player. Amy Ridgeway, top scorer by a mile for Montrose, reduced to long rangers. And again, the theme as the half went home from Montrose, Fuller Bruce that time. Chantal Mackay fairly comfortable. So we'll take a pause. It's in the balance here. Dryburgh in front by a goal to nil. We'll be back shortly for the second half. So welcome back for the second half in this Championship League Cup final, and already there's a chance in the first few seconds here as Gamma getting forward from Montrose, a side that are behind here despite 9 points the gap between the two teams in the league, and they're looking to try and flurry forward, and Anna Grant is fouled. Free kick in the first 30 seconds. Megan Robb with the goal for Dryburgh after 19 minutes. That's them in front, but Ailey Reid with the free kick here. Referee Nathan Clackmansfield just making sure everything's set. So it's Reid to float, but not going to come down. Early bit of intent though from the side who are behind. Plenty of shouts coming from their fans. In fact, both sets of supporters either side of us in the stand. Here, the main stand at the Falkirk Stadium, giving a good shout. 530 in attendance, a great crowd for this Championship League Cup final. Great to have plenty of you watching on from home as well. Busy period of League Cup finals with the SWFL League Cup finals last week at the Tony McElroy Stadium in Livingston, and then it's the SWPL Cup final next Sunday at Firhill when you can buy your tickets for. Last Sunday up against Celtic. Trying to be floated in by Grant. Well, for anyone in the box, it's a great curling strike from Ailey Reid, who was coming in. But similar to the first half, all the kind of long range efforts have failed for Chantal Mackay to collect and hold with relative ease. Reid looking to twist and turn away. Moreland only the chasing McFadden, who will be in vain there as the ball trickles out. Kelly Brough is going to leave it for Reid. Comes back here, Rob looking maybe for it on the overlap with McFadden. There might well be an early change for Dryburgh with Katie Hassett getting some instructions on Mackenzie. I think Moreland too did take a bit of a knock in that first period. He went down there again and is going to make way. And the first change of the half of the game. And that's another player that's been up at that SWPL 1 level with forfeit. So Reid with the floating free kick, which doesn't find anyone of our teammates. Fanning came away with it initially, but too many players around to support. And a free kick there and a sewing for Bruce, coming together with Sophie Aitken. See, just right in the back there was Aitken. Well, Montrose find a set piece which will tickle the back of the net because they have had a threat from them. Ailey Reid, almost 5 minutes into the second half, arrowed into a good spot. Chasing hard on the other side is Grant. Glennie past Collins. Let's get the defensive touch, and it came all the way across. I think Bruce was behind. And could have been a innocuous, maybe own goal there, but the defending header played it almost in the path of a Montrose attacker. Montrose certainly upped it at the start of the second period. Bruff looping over. Might come for Gammy. Referee not quite happy, so Reid will get another chance to deliver in after a bit of a delay. There's the ball into the box, which took it the defensive head, and it didn't quite come for Bruce. Here's Johnston now for Reid. Johnston again. Carter. That's a loose pass. Megan Robb back with Collins. Collins needed a bit of help. That help wasn't coming. As Montrose captain Glennie got in the way. Bruce. Can't find a teammate. Barclay beat with the throw in and turnover. Dryburgh haven't quite got anything going yet in the tank. They maybe expected the Montrose surge. They're going behind and they're trying to get forward again here. Gammy chasing down the side with Aiken ahead, but Gammy doing her best and takes it. And off Aiken for a corner. Good defending. Also the chance to get another corner in. Nearly Reid marching across. So it's Reid and it's Montrose looking for the equaliser. Up go the heads. Oh, the keeper somehow managed to just wrestle it away. And a goal's been given, says the referee. I think. Or is it going to be a free kick? Players are cheering. I think it's just referee just having a little check here. It's a goalkeeper's ball. Players started cheering, as did the coaching team, as the ball was in a complete mess there. There was a flap of a hand from Mackay, which I think was enough to take it off the line, and the free kick was given for all the bodies. So in the end, no goal. Just the way the arm went out, everyone was started celebrating in Montrose colours. It remains 1-0, and forward comes McFadden. But that'll be a ball. That's ironic cheers came from the left after from some of the Dryburgh supporters, as their side remain in front here. Montrose thought eventually a corner, which has been their real outlet, to just the equaliser. Hassett did really well and fine support, and Collins trying to wheel away from Glennie. Hassett again. Rob trying to get involved too. Up it's cleared towards Ridgway. Header back from Chloe Sturrock to the keeper. It's a bit loose, and Bogue over the top there looking for Rob. It's worked well for them a couple of times in the first half, including the goal. Glennie the other way comes, trying to marshal away from Hassett. Grant was looking for it, but Bruce got there on this near side and just trying to help it on its way out defensively. Dryburgh. Barclay beat down there. Reed in there, cushioned for Gammy. Charlotte Gammy keeps on going. Eventually, just a crucial little tackle came in before she gets shot away, and Rob on a solo mission, but won't get round Kaylee Brough. Grant, but that pass from Johnson found no one in her colours. Barclay beat McFadden. Barclay beat, trying to get there on the overlap, slid away, but up the other end for a Dryburgh turn to have a go. Spinning a turn for Laura Bruce. Johnson was just taking it a touch late. Another Dryburgh change. Mel Gormley, who did score in the SWFL 2 Cup Final a couple of years ago, in vain in the end, is coming on, and Alex Barclay beat to make him way.
Attention please, it's a call for Paul Loney. That's Paul Loney. Please contact the stewards on the central walkway of the main stand. Thank you.
Free kick long from Carter. Comes back in the path of Cully. It's hazy sunshine on that far side as Montrose still search for the equaliser as we inch towards nearly an hour played, and free kick goes Dryburgh's way. Montrose, I know, had a lot of video messages throughout the week on social media from some big women's players, likes of Fairley Lauder, Nicola Doherty and Christy Grimshaw, even likes of Alex O'Cleese, the former Hibs and Rangers and Scotland manager. And the Montrose maidens, might as well Stuart Petrie lending his support to the women's team. Want to conjure up the spirit of that and their support to find an equaliser. Amy Stark couldn't get out of play the first time. It's cleared and getting it back to Montrose. Flick through looking for Grant. Away comes Hassett. Been blasted forward here on the pin ball as it was. McFadden had to be dealt with by Reid. Dryburgh in a good position again. Gormley's ball cleared away for a corner off Reid. I think she was trying to just clear it away for another throw-in. That's one thing Dryburgh haven't done. There's too many set pieces. Megan Robb straight across there. On the hour mark, Robb's corner really comfortably clear, but will fall for Dryburgh a foot, but should come through and does the keeper. despite this spectacular, speculative effort from Chloe Sturrock. Twist and Gami trying to buy a couple, but will take the throw in. Read down that line for Bruce. Second deflection, keeper comes in though, and the nudge anyway, and gets the free kick. Hasn't failed for Montrose. Ridgway penalised that time. Hasn't quite had the chance yet as our main forward. Spin a turn. Ball didn't get too far. Back it comes with Bruce floating in a decent ball, but no one there in Montrose colours. Chantal Mackay has dealt with pretty much every ball that's came her way comfortably. That scramble a few minutes back was maybe the only thing which was more a reactive claw away. Mel Gormley with the throw-in, was trying to pick out McFadden. Me by Carter, inching down. Gormley looking to try and thread it back. The flag going up for offside in the end. That little pass of play comes to an end. Less than half an hour to go for Dryburgh here. They've had some of the tough games. Montrose have swept a lot of sides by on the run to the final. So plenty of goals past likes of Gleneffer. And on Fairland it was 4-0 at Trustfield in the quarter final. 10-1 in the semi-final. Dryburgh did get a bye through round one, but tight games 3-1 against East 5-4-1 against Falkirk. Both on the road, and the tight game is United, the 1-0. Had it a bit closer their games. As things stand, they were lifting the first ever Championship Cup Final trophy. It's a new era in the SWF Championship, as we now have North and South, the third tier, pathway to SWPL2, which is going to be growing. Oh, it's a little rogue touch on Montrose, and McFadden tried to burst free, but Carter stopped things. Here's Johnston. Bruce tried to thread it through. Only halfway. Ridgway couldn't get the ball to ball up for an attempt there for a goal. Grant on the other side in the battle with Collins. And Grant will accept the throw in. Looking for Bruce there, the pass, but clear away again. It has been stout defending at times, not absolutely under the pump, Dryburgh. But so many players behind the ball and they've looked fairly comfortable. That looked a loud challenge. But it's just going to be the throw-in. Despite Bruce and Payne, I think it is on the floor. Looks like she's okay though. Bruce and just see the come together there. Quick bit of treatment and now signal back on. Kayleigh Brough hard to the Montrose defence. Grant was under pressure. Here's Collins. Eventually stopped by Glennie. The thread through for Bruce. And now he was Sophie Aitken, who's been terrific all game. Now trying to get in there on Grant. The carry on though, Ridgway. And the challenge comes in from Amy Sturrock. Towards the edge of the box. Montrose looking for the delivery. The flick on from Ridgway didn't quite fall for Gammy. And will be a Dryburgh throw in as they look to make another change. And for Dryburgh, Laura Bogue, the captain, going to make way. Done a good shift, 67 and a bit minutes. And not a bad replacement to come on, the Italian top scorer for Dryburgh. 14 goals, Alma Codigoni. So something a bit extra. Perhaps to see if they can maybe pinch another if Montrose continue to attack. Here's another look at the ball, which well, it's a vital little touch, I think, from Gormley in there, just to take it away from potentially the toes of Gammy. Spin and turn from Bruce. Chasing hard, Ridgway. Out comes Mackay. Gets enough on that. Committed herself to coming out early. Just down below is Mel Gormley. I think there's a few O's because I think maybe Charlotte Gammy made contact with the fence at the barrier at the end of the stand, trying to race and get the ball to restart. Just a slightly innocuous, awkward fall for Gormley there. Hopefully she's okay. It came on in the second half. It was a pretty cold evening when Mel Gormley played in the SWF 2 Cup Final a couple of years ago. It was pretty windy as well. Ainsley Park, a corner which was kind of win assist, they went straight in. Due to the rear, so 2-0 down that day, got back to 2-2. But they're ahead here in this final with 20 minutes to try and hang on, plus any stoppage time. Not that they're absolutely climbing onto the frame at the moment and hanging on, but Montrose are still trying to conjure up chances, but maybe Collins can go and try and conjure up something at the other end. Looking for Codigoni on the edge of the box, coming in though. There's the defender of Carter. Now, lovely play from Bruce, and it stays in play here, striding forward. Ridgway in the box. Not much else in black. It's a goal kick, says the referee. Some terrific defending from guess who? Megan Robb, the forward, coming back to help her side when you're 1-0 up with 20 minutes to go in the cup final. Grant across here for Reid. Montrose floating through for Bruce. Just about marshalled out of it back to Mackay. Mackay was player of the match last week in their win against Inverness. Was a defeat last week for Dryburgh when they played Inverness, but still a decent performance in goals, and she's there again with the ball at her hands. Mind that extra time penalties could be an option if we were level after 90 minutes, but the moment Dryburgh have got that covered. Montrose still pushing. Ngami wide for Reid, trying to take it round Gormley, but just ushered away by Gormley, and the space disappeared and the ball disappeared out for a goal kick. More changes here for Montrose. Hannah Clues is coming on, as is Lisa Anderson. Flora Roos has worked hard and heading off. And Kira Johnson, the other players, came off too. So a change up for the back and in more attacking position too. Changing up for Montrose as towards the final 15 nearly. Bruff forward for Grant. Been quiet in the second half. Can she inject something here? Bounce up and Hassett is there. Robbs just came back into the thick of the action. Help defensively, and Mackay has to get there, and well marshalled by Chloe Sturrock. Reid, excellent skill for Glennie. Doesn't come to anything from Gary. McFadden. Launched up by Robbie, looking for either Conigoni or Collins. Conigoni and Collins trying to keep it alive. Bruff doing well. Grant. Rob left that for it to cushion behind. Another change going to come for Dryburgh shortly with Hope Ramage. Looks like going to be appearing. High in the air from Gormley. Not far. Has a teammate to help. That'll do for now. Montrose will have the attacking throw-in. And Beth Collins, who had a big part in Dryburgh reaching the final with the semi-final winner. And Hope Ramage, who had a big part in the SWF 2 Cup Final a couple of years ago. Scoring from a free kick, hitting the crossbar, which found its way in off the goalkeeper, which at the time held it back to all square. Was in vain that day, but maybe coming into a side that could well be winning this League Cup Final. But there's still plenty of time left for anything to change. And it's away by Sophie Aitken, who has been very influential in clearing the ball away a heck of a lot throughout the game, but still work to do here. Rob goes to the floor. It's a corner for Montrose. .13 to play on the clock. It's Ailey Reid's corner. Living header comes into Mackay's hands. And now McFadden up the other end looking for Codigoni. Bruff that covered. Back with Glennie. Gammy. Ridgway. Grant wide. Floating for it for Gammy. Reid. Another corner will follow. Walking from Gormley. Here's the previous corner. Another Ailey corner which was in a good position. The captain, Glennie, couldn't do anything other than just try and loop it in. So Reid again to take. Oh, and it's scrambled away off the line. Carter came in and then Ridgway's around too, but somehow it's cleared. Tro's trying to keep it alive as the ball floats into Mackay's hands. And it remains 1-0 to Dryburgh. Couple of corners been a little bit squeaky from the side in front, but again, despite all the swarm of bodies in that 6-yard box, the ball not crossing the line. If you're a Montrose supporter, it's one of those, is it you're going to be your day? But here's Gammy. Reid coming in. And again, just couldn't get her feet sorted as the bodies came in. Slide, trying to keep it alive. Oh, might spin and turn there for Ridgway. He's taking a deflection for a corner. Now the pile driver of pressure is coming. Yeah, and it bounced up off Carter, off Ridgway. Couldn't just sit nicely for her. So another corner. 10 minutes on the clock to go. Reid floating it in. Carter's at the front post. Anderson behind, but couldn't quite reach those. A fall here for Grant. And a Grant, but that'll be left to go by Chantel Mackay. Greg Cruz trying to shout some words of encouragement. And also from the other side, from the Dryburgh bench, the current has they look to try and hold on. Forward there from Gormley. Just eases a bit of the pressure. They're under over the last 2 or 3 minutes. Down the line goes McFadden, floating in. It's going to be over the top of the heads. Ramage trying to keep it going. There'll be a goal kick though. Glennie looking for Anderson, but opposite number McFadden in the way. Ramage. Bruffle get in the way there. Montrose, their first cup final, and they're looking for an equaliser. Amy Sturrock back to Mackay. That'll do for now. As Bullies get back in maroon. Both sides, of course. Big pitch tiring now, but still only 1 goal between the two. Nothing fancy from Chloe Sturrock. Forward, but touch away to McFadden. Gormley, is it going to find a teammate? It does, and Fellows pass it. Chloe Sturrock through the middle there for Codigoni on the chase, further forward, but Sangster had time. 83rd minute, 83 played, 7 to go for stoppage time. Getting a bit tense at the Falkirk Stadium as the natural daylight has been replaced with the floodlights, and McFadden now getting forward here. Codigoni in the centre, also in there as it comes across Ramage too. Just sails away. Well, that is the kind of break that they're looking to exploit, with Montrose trying to find a goal. And the space is there in the channel, not quite the ball for the two that are in the box. You see it there, just powering away. Despite the challenge coming in from Anderson. Just away though from Codigoni, who's the one in the central position. Good work again here from Reid, who's looking to get it back. It will be Montrose throwing it, but they will be told to wait because there's going to be another sub here as Tegan Clark is going to come on for Dryburgh. One of those the rare ones where the substitute has been substituted. Now Gormley, she did take a knock early in the half, not long after she came on. And the experienced player is going to just make way, bit of extra height and power. Tegan Clark going to come on here. Fairly recently signed from Wraith Rovers. Scored on her first start away from home as well as Buchan. Corner given now. 5 minutes left. Reid's delivery. A good strong defensive head from Amy Sturrock. Back it comes though for Glennie. But that is not on target. It just has been what Montrose have been restricted to, and they have had a bit of space in this box. They've just went for goal, and most of them haven't really troubled Chantel Mackay. See it here. There was a space, but couldn't keep it down. Didn't quite stay in play for McFadden. Real sense of anxiousness. Dryburgh are not far away now from the win, but Montrose fans still cheering their side on. Great crowd, 530. And the trip, both sides coming down to Falkirk. Plenty of Sharon Watson on supporting from home too. Those of you watching at home have got the better deal of it weather-wise, I'm sure, in terms of warmth, but plenty here in the conditions, cold conditions, about 4 degrees in Falkirk today. Enjoyed a really good contest from two sides in the same division, doing the North proud, and maybe doing more proud here for Dryburgh as bobbling through. Cody Goney could finish it off here. She could play this across for Ramage, but Ramage is offside. Well, they're just waiting for that break when Montrose were committing, and Cody Goney made the run. Instead of going for it herself, decided to try and use Ramage to her right, but the flag went up. Comes back and spin and turn Cody Goney, but that'll come through for Sangster. It's Glennie for Montrose. It's cleared away by Chloe Sturrock. Bruff sends it back down her direction. Sturrock will let that go back to Mackay. Goal in the 19th minute from Megan Robb. Difference between the two sides in this first ever SWF Championship Cup Final. Of course, replacing the old SWFL 1 effectively. Cup which we used to have for the teams that were in the third tier. This new era we're moving towards SWPL 2, but here comes Ailey Reid, and Ailey Reid is fouled by Katie Hassett. She's probably going to get a yellow card as well. And this is a tense one. 90 seconds to go. Free kick in a very dangerous position. Well, we did get a bit of the ball, but slide a lot of the player down at the same time. No, she's brilliant at the set pieces. There's one or two little stramashes in there, but maybe going to try something direct for Ailey Reid. Oh, it's off the crossbar from Ailey Reid. That nearly was the moment. Might fall for Gammy in the edge of the box, but the block comes in. Clue sends it forward. Grant. Grant keeps on going here, and it's a goal kick. Despite one or two of their arms, I'm expecting a corner. Oh, how close was this? Ailey Reid going for the floating over the wall and didn't quite dip down. Keeper was beating, but the crossbar is still shaking after that. As I head into 3 minutes of my own time in this cup final. Away comes Ramage. Cody Goney. McFadden was through the middle. Block comes in. Sending it long, but no one there going to chase that. Certainly taking their time now. Chantal Mackay, understandably. Hassett doing well, and now it's Ramage. Dryburgh finishing the game well. Just trying to break clear of any Montrose attacks. Montrose committing more forward, so they are leaving gaps, as you'd probably expect. That's given away, though. Bit scrappy there. But it's back with McFadden for Dryburgh. A minute or so played. Clark looking to cut it back to McFadden, but it's given back to Montrose. Well worked by Cully to get it back. Gammy. Rachel Robbie trying to usher that out. It's still with Montrose with a throw in. A lot of tired bodies out there. Both sides being cheered on from the stands. Reid looking to get this back from Gammy and does. And there's the goal scorer Robin the way helping defensively. McFadden sends it further up the pitch. And look at that. Big Rice smile to the bench from Alma Codigoni. Just help us take a few more seconds by. Glennie. Gammy looking for the ball. Oh, it's left there and it's looping over. Goalkeeper Mackay will take from Clues' effort. And was that the final big chance maybe for Montrose in the game? The space was there. Bridgie was in the box. Clues was steaming in, but couldn't get really the power right for the looping effort. Once again, it comes through to Mackay. You know, what a turnaround from the result in the league just a few weeks ago on Halloween. Still not over yet as Grant looking for it, but again, it's Cloyster this time to defend. Hannah Clues wants it quick, sharp. And looking for Cully, but away by Rob. It's over! And what a story in the first ever Championship Cup Final in a day which the North was being the showcase in Falkirk. It's a side who were beaten 7-0 by Montrose on a spooky Halloween that have turned things round just a few short weeks later to win the first ever Championship Cup. Dryburgh are the victors. What a story, what a performance. They hung in there and hung in there right to the end. The goal in the first half, the breakaway, which was so deadly in the end, finished off by Megan Robb, the experienced player, means that Dryburgh are the champions. Well, let's look at some of the best bits of the game. And, well, Montrose were the favourites, and no doubt about it. And in the second half, they were trying their best to get back into it. They started pretty well in that second period. The set pieces were very key. This we thought was in. Referee in the end, it wasn't a goal. It clawed away by Chantal Mackay. And they tried to pepper crosses in, tried to pepper corners in, but they could not find that moment. That's another dangerous chance, but the header was from a long way out and didn't trouble the goalkeeper. Similar one here. This is another bit of a scramble, probably the closest it came in the last 10-12 minutes, but again cleared away. They did have a chance right at the other end of a couple of moments where they had a good ball across there, you see, from McFadden. Maybe could have scored and finished it off as well, which you might well see. This was Lisa Glennie near the end. And this was the breakaway, which the sub, Cody Goney, the top goal scorer, broke through, but Ramage was offside. This was a great free kick from Ailey Reid, but off the crossbar, and that just was the sign of the luck that they just did not have Montrose, as it just fizzled out and it's Dryburgh who take the cup for 2021. We'll be back shortly with the presentation, but we'll leave you the scenes of the trophy presentation getting ready and the scenes of celebration for Dryburgh as they are the victors here by a 1-0. So time for the trophy presentation for the 2021 Scottish Women's Championship Cup. And first of all, getting their medals. The referee Nathan Clack-Mansfield, assistants George Anderson and Sean Telford, and Jamie McCunney, the fourth official. The presentation team led by Eileen Campbell, the CEO of Scottish Women's Football. And good job by all the officials there, getting their souvenir for their afternoon's work.
Gentlemen, a massive round of applause for this afternoon's runners-up. Let's hear it for Montrose.
Well, it's the end of the 100% record in all competitions for Montrose, but they've had a fantastic start to the season. I'm sure they're looking towards trying to maintain this run they've had in the league and look towards top spot and chance of SWPL 2 football, which is good for the northern part of the country to have teams from like Montrose competing in the SWPL level. But still quite a bit of the season to go. 27 points from the 9 games, but just wasn't their day today. Could not break down Dryburgh. They had a couple of moments, a couple of dangerous corners. They thought they had them all over like at one point, but they were reduced to long range efforts. But it's been a great run for them, and a lot of goals from Lightsman and Ridgeway, which will carry on, I'm sure. Charlotte Gammy bringing goals. Flora Bruce was extra. Keely Bruff is a key player from at the back. It'll continue, I'm sure, throughout the season. Captain Lisa Glennie, of course, another experienced player. Anna Grant is another one who is a very decent, promising player and played really well. I've seen Lauren Sangster there, the goalkeeper. I'm getting a few hugs from some friends and family in the stand, disappointed, but she's had a good run of games, and I'm sure they'll be looking to relish the league campaign that continues from Montrose. Dryburgh in the same league. They've got a bit of work to do in the league, but at the moment they're more worried about celebrating and getting their crowd and their fans cheering on. Some good performances today, right the way through the pitch. Shanti Mackay dealt with everything that came her way. Megan Robb was up there scoring. She was helping out defensively. Stacey McFadden kept on going down the channel. You had the likes of the two Sturrocks, Amy and Chloe and Sophie Aiken, were just clearing things up well at times. Beth Collins as well, not maybe had too much to do today up front, but scored that winner in a 1-0 win in the semi-final. And the likes of Mel Gormley and Hope Ramage came off the bench, and one or two others on this team that just were that bit short. A couple of years ago in the old SWF 2 Cup Final. They've got their moment today, and it's a great moment for Owen McKenzie, the head coach, likes of John Beats and Daniel Geeky, Ricky Neal, I think Claire Semple as well, the physio, all the staff there. And there is the captain, Laura Bolg. Well, they were 2-0 down a couple of years ago in the SWFL 2 final. They got back to 2-2 and lost in the agony of extra time very late in the day. A couple of years later, now in the Championship, 7-0 defeated against this opposition a few weeks ago. It's quite literally second time lucky, and your winners for the first ever 2021 Scottish Women's Championship Cup are Dryburgh Athletic. Congratulations to Dryburgh Athletic, the victors here in front of the crowd. They've had to make the journey to Falkirk. It continues a fantastic period of League Cup finals with SWFL finals last week. The winners here being Dryburgh, and then we move on to the SWPL Cup final between Glasgow against Celtic next week at Firhill. But we'll leave you with the pictures, the scenes of Dryburgh Athletic, your champions in the first ever SWF Championship Cup final, thanks to a 1-0 win over Montrose.